Hello, hello again, possums. Yes, it is I, the conspicuous moo. And today we're not going into particularly fun territory, but we do have to return to the corporate wasteland that is Activision Blizzard. This is because Fran Townsend has been treading the boards, tooting the Activision Blizzard horn rather loudly in the last couple of days about what they've been doing to improve the working culture and complaints procedures, in the wake of a multitude of allegations of discrimination and harassment in general at the company. So the Chief Compliance Officer, for that is her place, noted that more than 20 individuals have now exited Activision Blizzard, with another 20 that are facing disciplinary action. A letter has also gone out to the employees and signed off on by Ms. Townsend, going into further details about the strategies they're going to be employing, to handle allegations and punish the transgressors. In the letter they do mention that, the amount of complaints has been rising, so, at least people inside the company are feeling a little more comfortable about coming forward. And, that's also good to see that Fran's opinion on whistleblowing has changed, since a disastrous post on Twitter on the 2nd of August of this year, where she linked an article criticising that very practice. Needless to say, that didn't really go down well with the pros on the shop floor. In the letter it goes on to say that the ethics and compliance team has been bolstered by 3 and I think by another 19 after that, and the numbers will still increase. Whether the quality of the ethics and compliance is going to be matched by the numbers that are coming in, we're yet to see that. More resources are going into training for people who just commit minor transgressions, maybe just need to adjust their behaviours a little, and greater transparency is also promised. So, by all estimations there, Activision Blizzard is really getting their act together. However, as J. Allen Brack once famously said, they should be judged by their actions. There's still a law firm with a history of union busting behind it, conducting a third-party investigation. The company also recently settled a claim brought forward by the Equal Employment Opportunity Commission in the US for a grand total of $18 million, which is pocket change to a company like Activision Blizzard. Let's be honest, it's pocket change to Bobby Kotick altogether. So, despite the fact that they have settled this, they are still refusing to acknowledge any wrongdoing in regards to the conditions their workers were put under for many years. That settlement, though, does still need to be rubber-stamped by the courts, so there is still time for the EEOC to properly pursue the case, though I wouldn't exactly hold your breath. But if you think that after such a mediocrely small settlement that ABK are out of the woods, I'm pleased to tell you that there are plenty more trees for them to be wading through. For example, there is the minor matter of the first lawsuit that set this all off by the California Department of Fair Employment and Housing. Now that is for discrimination and harassment, I think. Then the Security Exchange Commission is also looking into how executives were dealing with the whole abuse and accusations and poor behaviour in the workplace, and they've actually subpoenaed Bobby Kotick along with a number of other people and a large amount of documents, which I'm sure won't be shredded. So, that'll be a hoot. The US Department of Justice, of all people, have also got an issue with Activision Blizzard, basically the way they handle payments to Overwatch League competitors. And, let's not also forget that that lawsuit brought together by the investors of Activision Blizzard, who have seen their share values plummet quite dramatically recently since the first lawsuit hit the fan, and apparently they would have preferred to know about the investigation that had been going on for 2 years before they read about it at the breakfast table one morning. Those shareholders, eh? But, let's not get too down on Activision Blizzard. I mean, Fran Townsend's latest letter to the employees is a lot better than the last one that reached the general public. That is the now notorious and tone-deaf, everything's fine, nothing to see here, these are just made-up allegations, I haven't had any personal experiences in the 4 months I've been here. Yes, that letter. That was very much at odds with the sort of conciliatory and apologetic tone of other executives in the company who were sending out messages at that time. But, I suppose that going into bat for waterboarding of all things is ample preparation for defending the indefensible. That letter has also been strongly attributed as a major cause for the staff walkout that occurred shortly afterwards. But, you know, she's got some positivity here, so if I were Fran, I would get onto Twitter to announce all of this progress to the wider public. After all, I'm sure the vast majority of the player base of Activision Blizzard's games don't want to be seen to support an organisation that isn't interested in the welfare of its own staff. Of course, if she were wanting to do that, she would have to create another Twitter account after she deleted the previous one. That is because, that tweet I mentioned earlier about the whistleblowing, well, it appears that there were a few Activision Blizzard employees who called her out on that nonsense, and her response was to block them. And, once she'd finished blocking them, she deleted the account altogether. So, yes, now, you may say, well, that was in the past. This is a new Fran Townsend. Well, I'd just like to point out that that was 10 weeks ago. So, isn't it a wonder how people can change their tune so quickly? It's almost unbelievable, in fact. But, there are other things that happened just over 10 weeks ago as well. Activision Blizzard employees under the hashtag ABetterABK movement laid out forward demands to the executive to improve the working conditions at the company. And 77 days later, as of this recording, they still haven't received a response. Not even a no, even a flat refusal at this point would be something at least. Perhaps the executive are still busy listening to everything. The ABetterABK movement is still going very, very strong on Twitter, with regular reminders that their concerns have not been addressed and have just been flat out ignored by the management. They have released their first newsletter as they, attempt to maintain the momentum that they're going to need to try and enact some meaningful changes. For some reason, they don't seem to believe that a meaningful change is going to be carried out by an executive through the mouthpiece of an unconvincing spokesperson who is basically rattling off the ideals and values of a bunch of millionaires who underpay and undervalue their own staff. Now, don't get me wrong, these moves by Fran Townsend and company are excellent beginnings. It does look like that they really are going to try and tackle the internal issues at Activision Blizzard. But there is still a lot to do, and that also has to be acknowledged. Making your own plans at the executive level is one thing, but you're going to need to involve everyone if you're actually genuinely interested in making a better workplace culture overall. And that just isn't happening yet. In any case, I will keep you informed on the progress or otherwise of the ABetterABK movement in this regard as we continue to roll forward. But anyway, that's enough for now because I need a hot shower to wash off the Activision. I will be back relatively soon, but until then, I am the conspicuous Moo, and a very good night to you.